Hi, I'm Judy. Welcome to Go with Yin Yoga. Today I have an Earth Element practice, and you may ask, why are we doing that? Because we are now in the wood element. It's because when you're not grounded, no matter how much you practice in the particular element you're in, if the other elements aren't in balance, you're going to have an imbalance, and that just has a snowball effect, and it affects all the other elements. So this practice is all about getting a great night's sleep. Now, this is what I have been practicing in my own personal practice for the last several nights. But before we get into that, I invite you to have a strap or a bathrobe belt, whatever. You may not need it, but you might want it. I'm going to be demoing this using the strap, and maybe a couple of blocks. I'm also sitting on one at the moment. So this can be prop free, but make sure you have whatever is going to make you comfortable in your own body. As I said, this is an Earth Element practice. You are going to release tension while strengthening your legs, your inner groin, and maybe helping your digestion along a little bit too. Something that could really need some help as we transition from winter into spring. The earth element in traditional Chinese medicine is, when imbalanced, is related to worry. And so today's practice is going to help you to release that worry, transform that worry into self-love. So it's a self-care practice. Okay, let's get started. Come to an easy seated position. Begin with Ujjayi breath. Up here will be a tutorial on that if you're not familiar with that. In through your nose, out through your nose. Slight constriction in the back of your throat, making kind of a Darth Vader sound if you're familiar with that, or fogging a mirror. If you're comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. Allow yourself to come into this moment right here, right now, because yoga is now, and now, and now. Yoga is when you are in the present moment. So as you're centering yourself, I want to relate just a little story from my own life. As I said, this is a practice that I've been using. So the last couple of years, off and on, I would have trouble sleeping. No problems usually getting to sleep. But 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd wake up. Sometimes I'd be up for a couple hours. This is something I've had on and off, thank God, for my whole life. I can remember when I was, newly married, I would do the same thing. I don't know what I was worried about then, but apparently it's something. So I turned to a lot of natural solutions for that. Melatonin, L-theanine, chamomile, and they worked for me. They definitely helped a lot, but I didn't like the fact that I had to take these things. And then last month, I had a couple of stomach bugs, and I didn't want to eat afterwards, and I couldn't for a while. And I just kind of cold turkey let those things go. And I have been sleeping okay, but I've still had some times when, I struggle with it. The state of the world definitely brings up a lot of emotions for me. So anyway, I came up with this practice, and it's aimed to help you set aside the worries you have and go into a relaxed and calm, deep sleep. So actually good for morning practice, great for an evening practice. If you have contraindications for this practice, if you have a hamstring injury, you may want to not go as deeply, or it may not be the practice for you. And you could go ahead and see what practices I offer for after this. And if you have herniated discs, it also may not be the best practice for you. I'm going to come off my block, and I'm going to turn around. Face the short end of your mat and gently come into laying on your back. Grab the blocks, grab the strap if you have them, and slowly come down to your back. And I am going to take the strap with the little loop on it and put it around my foot. You could also, take it in a U and put it around the back of your thigh. If this feels not so nice on your low back, go ahead and bend the other knee. So I'll go ahead and do it that way so you can see that. And let your arms be down by your sides so you're not like pulling and holding. They're just there, helping the strap be there, and you can relax into the pose. This is yet another non-traditional Yin Yoga pose. It, again, comes from Cassandra Reinhardt, but I really like this. And we'll be doing a slightly shorter hold. If you'd like to work with an affirmation, you can use I choose self-love, or perhaps I choose self-care. Last couple of breaths here. And then allow that leg to fall out towards the side. Taking your hands towards the hip, one a little closer to your leg, and then one towards your hip. And just allowing that leg to open up. Again, the opposite leg can be straight, it can be bent. Depends on what feels right in your body. Last couple of breaths here. And then bring your leg back up towards the ceiling. Stop. Hey, leave it. Leave it. And this is where you may want to go ahead and grab your blocks. You're going to take that leg and bring it over towards the opposite side. So if you're like me and you're pretty tight, your leg may be up like this. And you can take a couple of blocks, you can take it on the higher height. It's actually not enough for me. And if I had the other block, I would go ahead and grab it. But the strap helps me to relax that leg anyway. And you can, again, have your leg straight too. And this is giving your digestion that slight massage, slight compression. Last couple of breaths here. And then go ahead and bring that leg back up so it's coming straight up. Remove the block if you're using it. Take your feet out about hip width, a little wider than hip width apart. Play with it and let the knees come in together. Do a little counterpose here. Allow some energy to run through those legs. Leave it. And let's move on to second side. So if you're using that strap, go ahead, put the loop around your other foot. Leg is straight up towards the sky. Hands are holding it down near your hips. Slight bend in the knee, maybe a bend in the opposite knee. And foot is however feels right to you. I choose self-love and self-care. Last couple of breaths here. And allow that leg to open out towards the side. Last couple of breaths here. Your next inhale, allow the leg to come over the midline of your body and come across your body. Put any props you need under that leg to make it feel comfortable in your body. And notice, does this leg feel different from the first side? I know I can feel a big difference. You can see that my leg on this side is coming down much further than it was on the other side. And that is not good and it is not bad. It's just information. Last couple of breaths here. Go ahead and bring that leg straight back up to the ceiling again. Take that strap off, put it aside. You do not need that any longer. And again, take your feet out a little bit wider than hip width and allow the knees to touch. You may feel some sensation in those hips tomorrow, but it really is a good stretch. Go ahead and take those knees apart, bring your feet closer together. If you're in a bed like me, you know what, I'm going to do it a little differently this time. You can just take your hands underneath your sacrum, or you can walk your feet a little closer to your body, lift your hips, grab one of those blocks, put it underneath the sacrum, and lift your legs towards... I'm running out of room here. Let me reset. Lift your legs toward the sky, coming into legs up the wall. Of course, if you have access to a wall, you can just put your legs up the wall, and you can use a block like this under your sacrum. And you can also take that strap. Actually, I lied. It's optional, that you can take that strap and you can make a, maybe, there we go, much larger loop, whether you're at the wall or on a bed, and bring it up to the thighs and tighten it up so that your legs can relax into the strap and let go of tension. This is particularly nice using the strap when you are against the wall. as you relax into legs up the wall, if you choose, you can visualize those worries just streaming down those legs and melting away into the earth, releasing and letting go. Any tension that built up in those hips in our first poses, you can also imagine that just melting right out of those hips and back into the earth. Last couple of breaths here. Go ahead and allow those knees to bend. Bring your feet back to whatever is beneath you. Release both the strap and the blocks. If you've been using them, set them across to the side. And I am offering you today to take a slightly different Savasana, which you don't have to do. You can take your normal Savasana. But I'm going to offer you to take your feet once again out a little wider than hip width apart. Hands come down by the hips, knees come together, and just let go. If you set an intention at the beginning of this practice, now's a great time to revisit that. I offered letting go of worry. And of course, we're really getting into those hips and legs today. Continue to relax in whatever is your preferred Shavasana until you hear me speak again. Feel free to stay in Savasana for as long as you like. We are doing one more excuse me, practice before coming upright, and it can be done laying down or it can be done seated. So you can allow your breath to deepen if you are moving into the rest of your day. Take any small movements that you want and come up to seated, or stay laying down. I'm going to demo this seated. Take one hand, let me sort of turn so you can see where I'm going here. Take one hand to the side of your rib cage at the bottom. Okay. So one hand to the side and one hand to the same point on the other side. So you'll notice basically you are giving yourself a hug. Close your eyes for the moment if it feels good and begin Ujjayi breath again. And then just rock back and forth gently. This is called Cradling the Baby. It helps to balance the earth element. And it's something I've been practicing a lot lately because stomach issues can be brought on by an imbalance in the earth element. But I am not a doctor. I can't tell you which are balanced, which are not. And then come to stillness. Take a deep inhale. Take your arms up overhead. Hold your breath as you reach up with one arm, reach up with the other. Really stretching your side body, reaching over, up and over. And then allow your hands to come down your temples and then around back behind your ears and to your heart. You can do that 2 more times. Hands come around back behind your ear to your heart. Last time. And hands come to your heart and just pause here. Notice how you feel. Notice any shifts you feel since the beginning of this practice. Inhale, press the palms of the hands together, fingers point up, thumbs press into your heart center, slightly bowing your head over your hands. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you be free from pain and suffering. And may you always practice self-care. Inhale, exhale out through the mouth. Slowly blink your eyes open, taking in your mat or your bed. Slowly lifting your head and allowing your hands to fall down onto your thighs or knees. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you enjoyed this practice, please go ahead and click the like button if you'd like to practice with me again. At the moment, I'm not doing weekly videos, but when I do release them, they are still generally on Sunday mornings. I'm shooting for bi-weekly, but, you know, life gets in the way as usual. I think that's all I wanted to say, except for I would love to hear how you felt about this practice. If you used it before bed, I would really love to hear if it helped you to sleep longer, better, without having to get up in the middle of the night. I really want to know how it works for you. Right about now, you will see several different videos that you can either add on to this practice, or maybe you want to, you know, make a note of, you want to come back to them. So I have a hips at the wall practice that really aligns very nicely with this practice. And I think it's also about half an hour like this one. If you want to get into your upper body more, I have a nice Yin Yoga upper body practice. And I have a calming wood, which is more a discussion about what the wood element is. But if you're interested in going deeper into that, it might be of interest of you. to you. Thank you so much again for joining me. Thank yourself for taking this time just for you. I know how hard that is. Trust me, I really do. And may you have a wonderful rest of your day or evening.